We've seen mirrors appear only a handful of times in Kingdom Hearts, most notably in A Fragmentary Passage with Aqua and again in Kingdom Hearts 3 during Sora's surreal prologue. But these moments stick out. They're eerie, symbolic, unexplained. So, what are these mirrors actually doing here? What do they show us? And more importantly, what don't they? Let's start with A Fragmentary Passage. Aqua's time in the realm of darkness already bends space and logic, but when she enters the mirror section of the castle, things get deeply symbolic, almost uncomfortably so. The core mechanic of this section is simple. Aqua finds a mirror, but she can't see her reflection. She's trapped. The only way forward is to travel through mirrors and into twisted worlds, to face Heartless and eventually herself. One by one, she clears these rooms until she finally confronts a dark version of herself, a phantom who speaks every fear and doubt she's buried. This should be a powerful moment, the kind of classic narrative beat where the character faces their inner demons and comes out changed. But that's not what happens. Aqua defeats her shadow self, but there's no reconciliation, no acceptance, just destruction. And here's where things start to crack. Why does Aqua have no reflection to begin with? Even before the phantom appears, she is quite literally absent from her own image. That's not just symbolic, that's uncanny. Mirrors in mythology and fiction are all about identity. They reflect the self, they reflect truth, they expose hidden aspects. But Aqua's reflection is missing until she kills a version of herself. That's not growth, that's just erasure of a key part of herself. Compare this to Riku, who throughout the series embodies the struggle with darkness. From Chain of Memories to Dream Drop Distance, Riku is put through an arc of confronting his shadow self, Ansem, the darkness within him, his regrets, and ultimately arrives at acceptance. He doesn't defeat the darkness, he integrates it. By Kingdom Hearts 3, Riku's mastery of his inner struggle is so complete that he walks freely with the knowledge of his darkness. His strength comes from acceptance. That's a fundamental shift in the series' messaging, that darkness isn't something to be destroyed, it's something to be acknowledged. Aqua doesn't get that. Her phantom is just an enemy. There's no conversation, no integration, just a boss fight. And while that might feel thematically aligned with her Warrior of Light role, it also leaves her incredibly vulnerable to the fall that she eventually experiences. When Aqua succumbs to the darkness later, becoming anti-Aqua, it's framed as tragic, but narratively, it's also kind of inevitable. If you bury your shadow, it grows underground. Let's talk about the actual room. A fragmentary passage mirror section is littered with Western astrology symbols, the 12 zodiac signs, and while Kingdom Hearts has always been, fast and loose with its visual language, this isn't just random design, it's a deliberate motif. Why the Zodiac? Why Western astrology specifically, when so much of the series is rooted in Eastern and Disney aesthetics? Why are these mirrors reflecting not just Aqua's self, but her fate, her destiny? Or are they merely empty echoes, failed reflections of someone who lost touch with herself? The truth is, we don't know, but the use of mirror here feels weighty, intentional, and utterly unresolved. One of the most striking moments in Kingdom Hearts 3 is the very opening, Sora standing before a mirror, but not just any mirror. Here, the player is forced to interact, to choose, to step through the mirror. No progression without this choice, but what's fascinating is what happens on the other side. Instead of selecting power, stats, or skills, something that Kingdom Hearts has always framed as a choice, the player selects from a kaleidoscope of memories, with the question posed, what do you desire? This is a radical departure from the series' usual focus. It's less about what you can do and more about what you want. A subtle but profound shift. Why? Because the mirror here isn't just a gateway between Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora and Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. It's a gateway between who Sora was and who he wants to be, filtered through memory and desire rather than stats or abilities. Unlike the usual RPG progression, this moment highlights the intentional conflict and identity over power. It raises a bigger question for this series. If Sora's journey is about overcoming darkness and choosing light, What does it mean when the very first challenge is about desire? Something that's inherently personal, subjective, and sometimes contradictory. Why place this moment in a mirror, a symbol traditionally associated with reflection and truth, and yet have Sora's reflection be absent or fragmented? It's a puzzle that's left mostly unresolved, but its placement right at the start of Kingdom Hearts 3 suggests that the developers want us to consider identity and desire as central themes, maybe even more than choice or power. When viewed alongside Aqua's mirror experience in Fragmentary Passage, where her reflection is missing and she confronts a shadow self, it's clear mirrors that Kingdom Hearts serve as more than just portals. They symbolize fractured identity and unresolved inner conflict. Sora's mirror isn't just about moving forward, it's about shaping into a version of Sora that is shaped by memory, desire, and maybe even doubt. The mysteries remain, but it's a thread worth pulling. Here's a crux to this whole theory. These mirrors don't add up. Aqua's mirrors aren't explained. Sora's mirror is symbolic, but to what end? Neither get a satisfying resolution. Aqua never integrates with her shadow. Sora never reflects on his mirror self. Both moments feel like they were meant to mean something deeper, but the thread dropped. It's tempting to say these are just abstract flourishes. Kingdom Hearts is no stranger to dream logic. But when the same motif repeats in multiple key moments, both involving identity, memory, and transformation, it starts to feel like a pattern. And if this is a pattern, then what are the mirrors trying to show us? That the characters don't really know themselves? That transformation happens through dissonance? That something or someone is pulling the strings behind the glass? The mirrors in Kingdom Hearts are few and far between, but when they do appear, they're never just decoration. They're thresholds, challenges, omens, and yet they remain unexplained. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the mirrors show us only what we're willing to see, and the rest is up to us to figure out.